For the past couple weeks, the NBA has been hyping up a three-point duel between Steph Curry and WNBA star Sabrina Ionescu, which would take place at All-Star Weekend in Indianapolis. It comes after Sabrina set the WNBA and NBA all-time record score in the three-point contest last season, recording 37 points out of a possible 40. Steph Curry also has the single highest round in NBA history, so it was a matchup between the two most prolific shooters in the sport. Despite going up against the greatest shooter to ever live, Sabrina was not going to make it any easier for herself, deciding to shoot from the NBA line rather than the WNBA line, which is about 1.5 feet closer. I would say most NBA fans didn't expect her to have a chance, but she blew all expectations out of the water. She finished with 26 points on the round, falling just 3 points short of Steph Curry, who had 29. She ended up falling just 2 shots short, and was as for real in this competition as it gets. Her 26 points also tied the highest mark from any of the NBA guys in the actual three-point contest, meaning she could have legitimately won that competition. She held her own against guys like Damian Lillard, Trae Young, and Karl-Anthony Towns, who are widely regarded as some of the greatest shooters ever. However, for some reason, Kenny Smith on the broadcast said after that she should have shot from the women's line instead. It was one of the most ignorant, demeaning, and sexist comments that could have been uttered, and just stupid considering she put up the second best number of the night. But thankfully, not everyone was negative for no reason. There was a ton of discussion about furthering this type of competition next year, and potentially bringing in even more female athletes. Her performance brought much more respect and recognition to the WNBA and the women of the sport. The game is exploding right now, and she only furthered it. It would have been easy to buckle under the pressure, and if she had just put up a measly 8 points or something similar, it could have ended the WNBA's inclusion altogether, and made her and the league a laughingstock. But instead, she was cool under pressure and showed that she's one of the best shooters in the entire world, regardless of gender. Sabrina Ionescu just changed the game. Now let's take a deeper look. Before we get into the awesome three-point duel on Saturday night, if you enjoy my content and watch a few videos of mine, think about subscribing. 96% of my viewers are actually not subscribed, so if you watched me before and enjoy the content, drop a sub and comment down below. It really helps the channel. The women's game is growing more entertaining and popular by the day. That's thanks to notable stars and long-range sharpshooters like Caitlin Clark at the college level and Sabrina Ionescu at the pro level. The entire 2023 WNBA Finals averaged 728,000 viewers, making it the most watched WNBA Finals in 20 years, and up 36% from 2022. The women's college title game averaged 9.9 million viewers, setting the record and up over 100% from the championship in 2022. More eyes are on the women's game than ever before, and performances like Caitlin Clark this season and Sabrina on Saturday night continue to push it forward. Her performance and evolution as a shooter over the years is extremely commendable and impressive. Her first 3 seasons in the WNBA, she shot 35%, 32%, and 33% from 3 respectively. But she blossomed into one of the best shooters in the world last season, shooting 45% from 3 on 8 attempts per game, while being named an All-Star for a Liberty team that made the finals. She's an extremely hard worker and has put blood, sweat, and tears into what we see today. That part shouldn't come as a shock, as Ionescu was one of the last disciples of Kobe Bryant. During her time playing at Oregon, she trained with Kobe on a consistent basis, and it's clear that he saw her as the future of women's hoops. She has the most triple-doubles in college basketball history at 26, regardless of gender. She's a staggering 11 triple-doubles ahead of Caitlin Clark, who is in second place. She wasn't covered quite as heavily as Clark is now at Iowa, but don't get it twisted, Sabrina was one of the best college basketball players this century. She was an elite shooter in college as well, at 42% for her career, but struggled to pick it up early on in the pros. but now that's clearly behind her, as she's one of the best shooters in the world today. Her 26-point performance on Saturday could have legitimately changed the landscape of women's hoops moving forward. The viewership spikes I mentioned should only become more extreme, as she introduced herself to the NBA fandom on one of the league's biggest stages. It doesn't just push herself bigger into the basketball nexus, but also opens up opportunities, as we could see players like Caitlin Clark, Jackie Young, and Chelsea Gray get shots to compete against NBA players, as the WNBA is full of true sharpshooters. Steph and Clay versus Sabrina and Caitlin Clark next year would be a movie. The women's game is exploding, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Expect the two leagues to merge together more and more as time goes on. Sabrina Ionescu just changed the game, and maybe forever. Thanks for watching. I'm Herm. Have a good one.